Hi, welcome to Classic Car Cave. So, working on the Citroen once again. I'll show you what I'm up to on the back. We've cut some of the foam for the side pieces, and Mir's used tiger seal as well to go in on the metal plates, the 1mm side pieces, and that's made a big difference. The kind of tinny noise, the oil canning has gone, plus with the foam on top it should be really good. So we've had to put some extensions into the side pieces for the wood, which I didn't think about at the time, but they're all in there now, so I'll give them a paint up, and then we can cut the wood, fit it in, and then what I'll do is I'll put a 45 on the corners so that when they join together they come up and they meet each other. So, and then we can start working on this front again, and get this all kind of sorted out how we want it. Once that's done, at some point in the summer we'll take the cab back off again, completely lead load it, and it'll be painted off the car, off the chassis, and then we'll paint it, and then paint all the other parts, and then start putting it back together. And as I showed in the last one, I'll show you some more renderings that I've got from a friend of mine. In fact, I think he's going to bring the program over with him so we can try a few different things. I'm fairly sure that we can match the colour of the Bentley, because it's a opalescent, or I guess you would call it, what's the normal word for it? Sparkle in it. I've forgotten the name now, but it was called opalescent in the old days. And I think it'll really suit this vehicle when it's done. So yeah, I'll show you what we're up to, and also give you a bit of an update on the E-Type and the Mini from the MOT test the other day. So, as you may or may not know, that rocker cover there, the valve cover, that was completely porous, so we had to make a new one. So we built a new one for that, and you would think it was original. I think it's as good as. I mean, we didn't have to replace it all, but it was very porous. I mean, the oil would have been just pissing out of there. But it runs well enough and everything. So, just take you to the back. So this is the guts of the vehicle. So you can see all the original chassis there. And obviously it's all bolted down to this. So you've got one base frame, and then the top frame here. It's just pulled to the back at the moment. So it's easy for us to just push it back on again. And all we're going to do is lift it slightly to get it over for these riv nuts in here. You can see where the riv nuts are there. What I will be doing, you might see that block of wood in there, and the problem is these springs are pretty much had it. Their elasticity, well, it's gone to the end of their strength. So what I'm going to do is, you might see on this side, that's where the shock absorber would go on here. So what I'm going to do is I'll put coilover shocks on it and build a new mount here, and the same on that side over there. And the coils will take the coils, and the dampers will work as the springs, and these will just be really attaching the axle to the car, or to the vehicle. This is the wheel well. This goes in there like that, and the tyre goes on the back. Again, you'd have to go back and look at some of them, but the tyre goes in the back there, obviously on the other side of this, so it fits into there. So the next thing is we've got the metal cut out there at the side for the backboard, so that goes on there first, and then do the same thing with the front, put the wood on it. What I'm not going to do now, is I'm only going to put the aluminium runners on this base. I'm not going to put it on the boards at the back. There's no need, and certainly the sides. I mean, they're about €10 a pop, and they're 2 meters long, and unfortunately all I've got is a bunch of offcuts, and I can't put them together to look horrible. So it'll save about €150. I know it sounds like I'm being cheap, but they don't really need it. It's for aesthetic reasons, and there'll never be anything in the back of it. It's, to look nice. If it looks better with them in, then I'll put them in, and if it doesn't, I won't bother. And yeah, so there's a few things to go on here, like this angle. this is one of the things that has to go on. You can see that's going to look nice as well once that's in place, and this will go all the way up and all the way along there, and obviously this will be body colour. So yeah, we're getting there. So the bits that we've basically put on, I'll show you now. Bits that we've put on, so you can see here, you see how they've got silicone here and down here inside, and if I hold this, and that's without any without any foam in it, but it's so much better. If I do that on an area where it's not got any silicone in it, I think he's done all these as well, has he? That one doesn't look like it's been done there and there, but not on the bottom. He must have run out. And that one, I think that one's got hardly any. So yeah, it's much better with the silicone in it. So that's what we're going to do. 24 hours later, or a bit more, all the hood is dried out. It's nice now, no problems. Fortunately, there's no watermarks in here across the back, which is good news. So I've left there's the legend. I'll leave that off now. So basically where the problem is with this, as I'll take you inside and show you. So what it is this barrel, this ignition, it is original from the car, 1966. It was cleaned up. We actually took the rivets out and cleaned inside. But the barrel's just worn now, so I can get a new one. I think they're 116 euros. But if I do it now, you'll see. I think the battery's off. But the ignition is working. In fact, I'll bring you back. I'll just connect the disconnect on the battery, or reconnect the disconnect. Okay, so I've screwed it down to tighten the battery on. You can see now when I turn it on, you'll hear the pumps first probably. And the pump, and there's the ignition light there. It's out of gear. Without throttle, I think it'll turn over, we'll see. Hang on. So there's the choke. I'll give it a go and see if it'll start. So there we go. So it is working. These are the little thumb screws that go in, and there's two of them. So you can pull this down, and you can even see the legend there of where it is. So I do need to change it over. All the gauges were cleaned, and they were all serviceable, but they are original. I think it's only the amp. I think the fuel, the oil and the water are brand new, but I didn't change that ignition, which unfortunately I have to do now. So, but like I say, all the legends there, and you can see the fuses in the back, over the back there. But the downside with that is when you put this back in, that legend there gets caught on here, on the top of this ashtray. Look at that. Mint. I'm a smoker, but I never use it, obviously. So it would be nice to have some way of getting that on and off without having to put a screwdriver to it. You know, you could do it quite rapidly. I might come up with a little idea for that, and we'll see. So there we are. So I'll just disconnect the battery, just in case. So what's actually happened was so the water getting in, it was a coincidence. What had happened was because this wasn't connecting correctly, the ignition, what it did was it blew the 35 amp fuse. So it wasn't the water that got in, it was the coincidental that the ignition barrel went and it clicked in and out, and that's what broke the fuse. So the water was just, yeah, it could have gone any time. So there we go. I'll show you the disconnect. So there's the disconnect there. You can see basically the idea is you could take this out, take it with you to the hotel room, and unless you had the right profile you wouldn't be able to connect the battery back up. But I'll leave it disconnected. You only need to do a couple of turns. So I'll do that just in case that switch becomes an issue. I don't want to fire in it or anything like that. So there we are. The Mini, we found a clevis pin, so I put the clevis pin back in. I just need to dial in the carburetor now, and I'll talk with Max and see if he's got different needles. Maybe he could come down and have a little look, because he's really good at tuning. And again, the XK, still waiting for this stuff from Holland that I ordered last week. Why it hasn't turned up within a week, I do not know. But yeah, so we're pretty much there. It's just, we just need some finishing up work. I mean, and I know the seats are not in it now, but if you go back, you'll see that all the seats, carpets and everything was in there. And again, this week or next week, the leather tonne that's being made for the back will be here. And once that's in, I can finish up the car and then go and try and get this engineering test on it, or the turf. I think even without the hood, it shouldn't be a problem. And then we can think about getting it registered. So, on that note, as usual, stay safe, keep the faith, enjoy your hobby, and have a great weekend when it comes. Take care. Bye for now.